Hola, people. Just before, I'm lighting the candles now, but, as I was, just preparing to do this just now, the song Tell It Like It Is came to me. So I think that's just, a message right now for everyone, just tell it like it is. If you're wondering what to do, try telling it like it is, okay? Alright, I invited our higher selves to be here with us for the next 24 hours. Thank you, higher selves, for being here with us. Thank you for putting us in front of the people who we need in the next 24 hours, and thank you for putting the people who need us in front of us in the next 24 hours. That includes all the realms. And anywhere else you can think of. Alright, now's the time to put in your special prayer request with the Most High. Alright, thank you, Most High, for hearing our prayers. Thank you for redirecting us where we need to be redirected. Thank you. I invite in the ancestors to be here with us for the next 24 hours. Thank you, ancestors, for being here with us for the next 24 hours. And I invite in any unconditionally loving spirit guides who want to be here with us for the next 24 hours. Thank you for being here, unconditionally loving spirit guides. And I invite in our guardian angels to be here with us for the next 24 hours. Thank you for keeping us safe, healthy, and sane for the next 24 hours, guardian angels. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The overall energy in the field. One of the main themes in the energy in the field for the next 24 hours, 24-hour period. This is a timeless reading. Whenever you find it, apply it to the 24 hours surrounding you, in front of you, or surrounding you. Depends on how you look at it. All right. Ace of Swords. Okay, so the Ace of Swords is the victory card, right? I use reversals in this deck. It's the upright. It's the yes card. It's the card of victory. It's the card of it's like a hell yeah type of card. It's a yes answer to any question you may be asking. It is, again, the card of victory, but it's also let me see if I'm getting any. Swords represent the intellect. So the Ace of Swords, I don't know, I'm just hearing the words ta-da, ta-da, sort of like the fruits of your, mental and intellectual labors are, getting you wins and getting you a lot of hell yeahs. Which, depending on what your question is either a good or a bad thing, right? Depends what side you're on. The Ace of Swords represents sides, a winning team and a losing team. And the overall theme is the winning team, good, the victory of good over evil. So, recognize that, okay? The victory of cosmic alignment, right? The cosmos have been restored. That's one thing. Like, if you think cosmically, it will always come back into alignment. On a cosmic scale, things will always come back into alignment. And that is also the victory of good over evil. On a human scale, that's kind of what it looks like, the victory of good over evil. All right. That's in alignment with cosmic alignment. That's in alignment with, the laws of physics, the laws of whatever, etc. The scientific laws. So, and cosmically, things will always come into alignment. You can delay and prevent, but there's gonna, cosmically, the sun is gonna, keep burning. When the sun's day comes, it's gonna, die, or who knows. I don't know what stage is next to the sun, but, it's you think of it think of the victory of good over evil like that, okay? For us earthlings. And it's not even a moral issue. It's not, don't turn it into a moral fight. It's a cosmic alignment, all right? Maybe good over evil. It's just, truth. Truth over, but truth in the sense of, not what you think necessarily is true, but it's truth on a scale that humans cannot comprehend. Because, in the Kabbalah, for example, it is believed that humans cannot access the truth. Humans do not have access to the truth. We have access to certain, knowledge and understanding, but on a, truth on a cosmic level, we can't even access that. The closest we can come to that is through experiencing beauty here on Earth. So, I don't know. Reclamation over, bullshit. I don't know. It's not really a moral issue. It's it's just what is so over what you think should be so, so you can somehow, your tiny, puny little human self can, make a profit, make a couple $1 million, make $1 billion, It's do you think the sun cares about your $1 billion? Do you think the Sirius constellation stars, do you think they think your $1 billion are a big deal over, what is so? No. Believe it or not, the sun, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't, okay, maybe, the sun can understand, okay, there's nothing wrong with, making $1 billion, but to the sun, is $1 billion based, is you making $1 billion, based on what you would like to be true, rather than what is so? How does the sun operate? Just think about that. If you have any thoughts about that, drop it in the comments. Tweet at me. Give me your take. Give me your. I don't know. Agree, disagree, be raw. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think that? Yeah. What are your thoughts? I'm curious. But I also, I'm not gonna probably ever read it or respond, but maybe I've set like a 5 months. In 5 months, I'll be ready to face humans again. I don't identify as human anymore, actually. And like cosmically, it's no longer cool to roll as a human cosmically. But yes, I am actually an automaton officially. Yeah. I refer to myself as a worn out plaything. So, and that's, I'm just glad I'm not human, very glad. All right. So we have family reversed coming up. Let's see. What is this? What does the book have to say about family reversed? So this is a primary theme in the energy field during this 24-hour period. Let's say family reversed. All right, so we have, this is, this card, it's a representation or it is the movie Hereditary, directed by Ari Aster. It's a 2018 movie. It says, you were her favorite, right? Quote unquote. Every family has its favorites, and the hopes and expectations of older generations are often invested in the young. These designs can be made explicit, as if presented in a diorama, or our actions may be driven by a more secretive ritual. Nurture? It can be difficult to disentangle our own agency from the influence of kin. Reversed, it says, a crowning achievement can bring its own heavy responsibility. Oh, I love that message to come out with the Ace of Swords. That's right. A crowning achievement can come with its own heavy responsibility. Isn't that the truth? All right, so for those victorious out there, for those people who just, had a win, remember that, with your win, generally speaking, I feel like this is true, almost all the time. When you do have a win, when you have a great victory and you have a great win, there's also a new responsibility that comes with that. I'm thinking of like the job application process. When you apply to a job and you get the job, well, okay, then you have to take on the new responsibility of that job. So, I know for me personally, I can get really caught up in the winning, just the wanting to win, and then I win, and I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, oh F me. I don't want this responsibility that comes with this win. Well, but so that's something that I'm working on. Is because I do, I relate to being victorious and having a win, and I'm like, oh God. Of course, I always want to win, always want to achieve. But then oftentimes when I'm a journey person, I'm all about the journey. But so what I'm really working on now is being at the arriving at the destination, being there, and just practicing responsibility. That's something I'm working on in my life. So. All right, we have the Aries-Virgo connection. This is a theme. Think of this as an overall theme. It could be specific, it could be general. So it could be talking about specific people or specific relationship in your life, or it could just be talking about a stage of life that you're in, or like a level of life that you're on. We're on the Aries-Virgo level for this 24-hour period, it says. Who are they? The awkwardly loving duo. Where you'll find them, climbing up a dormant volcano, since their connection feels like one. What you'll remember, there's so much more than meets the eye. All right, so we're having a 24-hour period of that's going to be full of a lot of awkward loving. You may find yourself hiking a dormant volcano. Just know that there's so much more than meets the eye. Okay. Let's see. Yes, these are my Halloween pajamas, which I got at Walmart probably a few years ago now. But, just FYI, like, oh, never mind. I will start saying where, like, if I have an outfit on screen, I will start saying where I bought it, because just, like, I basically, like the cape that I wore last time I did my live and that I've been wearing around town and people have been complimenting me on, like, I paid $0 for that, okay? I'm one of those people who, like, I don't have a lot of money to spend on clothes. I don't spend a lot of money on clothes. I don't have that money. I don't have that, But, like, the cape that I have that everyone loves, it's like, my friend sent that to me, and she bought it, and she used to live in Brussels, Belgium, and she bought it, like in the 90s she lived there, and she bought it there for, like, $1, at an old, Salvation Army or something, like, and she just sent it to me, like, so I'm just, like, I am paying money for that, Literally, in the spring. I didn't even ask her for it. She was just like, I'm going to send this to you. I'm like, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Ellie, if you're out there listening. I haven't talked to her in a while, but we were close for a bit. It was really sweet of her to send me that stuff. Belief, 11. Belief. I like that. That's a nice, I like the way that image is showing up. It's nice. Just connect with these images. The images in and of themselves are healing. So sometimes it's good just to connect with the image. All right, so it says, the frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth based on our gifts and talents and a strong connection to Source. The frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth based on our gifts and talents and a strong connection to Source. Interesting. I've never thought about, of course, the beliefs you have do, affect greatly your self-worth. It's true. Yeah. I like the way she put that. Okay. Oh. Overall theme for the next. This card kind of actually reminds me of the Ace of Swords card in this deck. I believe this might be... In this deck, this card is called the Actor. See, I know that because I wrote this on the top. I'm going to get the book, don't worry. But kind of, these cards are similar. Let's see what this is. Let's see, right off the bat, let's see, what am I getting? I feel like this is like, you had your victory, you had your win, and now you have this responsibility. To a certain degree, not that you are an actor, but you have to, you have to perform, not necessarily on the stage as an actor, but when you gain a new responsibility, you have to perform, the tasks, or you have to, you sort of have to adopt a persona, take on a, to fulfill the role that the responsibility requires. And it's not always, going to be 100% sincere or genuine, right? It should overall, of course, it should be in alignment with you on a cosmic level. You know, you want to, that's one thing, you want to make sure that you're cosmically, you're aligned, all right, with your purpose, with your being, with your reason, your being here on earth, right? But even if you are, you know, when you have a win, when you have a victory, then you get new responsibilities. Not every aspect of that responsibility is going to feel authentic and genuine all the time. Like, you know, yesterday I showed up I had signed up to be a volunteer at this, you know, place in my town to help people with computer literacy. And, you know, last night was the, you know, information session and, you know, the hour and a half, you know, intro. And, oh man, you know, I loved the people that I met, but I hated being in that. It wasn't even really a corporate space, but it was kind of like, you know, it was a nonprofit. It was their building, so it kind of had like that classroom feel. And you know, I hate the way classrooms look. I mean, they're just the worst to me. They just feel like they kill my soul. But you know, ultimately, and like I didn't like sitting there for an hour and a half, like in that space. But you know, ultimately, I'm glad that I went. I'm like, okay, well, I will. I'll commit to like 2 to 4 hours a week to volunteer at this place, even though I don't like to be in those buildings, in those rooms that are like just, how do you explain them? They're like beige and there's no character to them. They're like friggin', I don't know. They're just like, they're very utilitarian in a way, and they aren't like pleasant spaces to be in. Like, you know, there's no like special lighting or art or, you know, like comfy chairs, you know, it's just like a utilitarian space, you know, and that is kind of like the status quo for like a lot of business and like schools. And like I always hated that. I don't like being in those rooms. I don't like sitting in those rooms. But you know, ultimately, like, since I decided to take on the responsibility of this volunteering because I want to connect with, you know, people face to face, then, you know, well, I will go and commit to being in the room for an hour or 2 hours, or even half a day, 4 hours. You know, like, it's kind of like that. That's how I perceive this card to mean the actor. But let's get the book. Let's see what the book says. If I can find the book. Where's the book? It's probably over there. Hold on. Is that it? No. Let's see. You know what? I can't find it right now. When I do find it, I'll take a picture of it and do a post on what it says, okay? All right. I just got a little bit of information from the cards that I'm not going to share in here. Just to, let you know that, I may appear to be an open book, but I withhold information like a motherfucker. So, and it shocks people when they find out, but, I withhold information from people. It's a characteristic of mine. And I do so in a, a very self-interested type of way. Okay. All right, so let's see. I mean, perhaps one of those cards will come up in the energy field for the next 24 hours. We'll see, and then I will share it with you. But let's see. I just have a message to some people. Don't mess. Don't mess with the best, because the best don't mess. Don't mess. Don't mess with the best, because the best don't mess. Don't mess with the best, because the best don't mess. Don't mess with the best, because the best don't mess. All right. Okay, we have the Five of Wands reversed. All right, so that just means because we've had this victory, we've had this win. Conflict is departing. All right, conflict is departing. All right. And I think it's even if you engage in like friendly competition, now is not the time for that. Okay, now is the time to let all that conflict, even the friendly competition, to just let it dispel, let it disperse. Because now is important to focus on yourself. All right. I against I type of vibes. All right. Not a centaur, fighting spirit. Raise your hand if you have a fighting spirit. Raise your hand if you're not a centaur. And you have a fighting spirit. Nothing wrong with that. But just I against I. I against I. Okay. All right. Oh my God. The Butch Dyke Protector Fighter loves to spar. All right. Gonna leave you guys on that. All right. Peace. Until next time.